Hi, I'm Paul Seal from coachshare.co.uk. Welcome to part 4 of the 6th episode in this series where I show you how to build a website with Umbraco 13. I know it sounds ridiculous, part 4. I've just had to break it into so many parts just because there's a lot to it, and I just want you to be able to finish an episode, park that, and then come back to the next episode when you're ready to take in the next part. In this episode, what we're going to do is we're going to get the previews working in the back office so that you get an editing experience like what I've got in the demo site that I created. So what I'm talking about here, if I just log into, actually I'm already logged in over here. So what I'm talking about is you get to see the preview like this in the back office as you're editing and dragging around and things like that. So um, we're going to end up with a back office that has all these previews on the pages. So that's what we're going to work on today. We're going to do it in two different ways. One way, we're going to create our own custom previews. We've got four components that we've got custom previews for, and then the remaining ones that have previews, they'll be using the community package Umbraco block preview. So let's get into this then. First of all, we're going to do our custom previews. So um, previously in another episode we did the navigation group preview, um, and so it's going to follow a similar idea to this. So the first one that we'll get started with is for the title. So let's go in here and we'll just make a copy of the navigation group. So I'm just going to do Control C, Control V, and I'm going to go to it and just rename it to title. Now, I'm not going to expect you to do a load of of typing whilst I type on this. There's quite a bit to it. So what I want to do is I just want to copy in the style rules first of all. I'm going to put it into a gist. I'll share it in the description of this video so that you can get to the code that I'm doing right now. You can just go to open that gist and copy that and paste it in, because there's some style rules that we need. But the idea here is that we do have this inline style block, and this style block, it works for block grid previews. Block list previews, it actually leaks out. There's no like dedicated shadow DOM or whatever the DOM name it is. So yeah, but these styles, when it's in a block grid preview, these ones are specific for that one component. So we can put our own little bit of styling in there. And then what we've got after that is we've got this other div here. So I'm just going to replace what was in the navigation group. I'll just talk you through it. So we've got a div with a class of text, an ng click event. So that's an Angular thing. So this is using old Angular. Umbraco 13 is using an out-of-date version of AngularJS, or also known as Angular 1. That's what the whole initiative is for Umbraco 14 and beyond, replacing the back office. But for now, for Umbraco 13, which will be long-term support till 2026, I'm just creating these basic previews that you don't need to do a lot of Angular for. I mean, it's just literally just telling it to do this. So blocks come with some default things, and one of them is like an edit function and a focus as well. So I'm saying when you click on this block, then I want you to edit it. And also when you focus, I want you to focus as well. So it's got an inline style of margin 0.20px. Now what we could do with that, that's a bit weird. We should have a margin set on here. So we've got a margin top, which is odd because we've got a margin 0.20px. So actually margin should be -1px, then 20, then 0, then 20px. I think that should be the same as that rule. And I'll just delete that margin top. So I'll remove that inline style. There was no need for that. We'll just apply it to that element already anyway. Then we've got this div here, which is divider custom icon there. So what we're trying to do is we set a width and a height just for the icon to show in. And what we've got here is an inline SVG. Again, there's no way that we're going to type this out, but this is just for that star. So I've got that inline. So let's just save that. So with this file, and again, you'll have it in a GitHub gist where you'll be able to open that and go directly to it, copy it and paste it into your title file. And remember, we registered this package of block grid previews so that these things will be available to us. Now, if we go into the back office of Umbraco and we go into settings, and first of all, let's just go to the content, have a look. Again, we've got no previews here. But if we go into settings and we go to data types and custom, and then we look at our main content, we can go to the title one. And let me just double check it on the demo project that I already created for us. Just log into the back office on that. And then I'm just going to go into the same data type on here just to make sure that I'm doing it consistently, because I've taken the time to build this project already before, so I want to be able to use all that work that I put in previously. So we go into the advanced tab and then we have a look at this. And now what we want to do is want to pick that file that we just created, and it lives in app plugins, block grid previews, and then its title. And then the style sheet that we want to use is in the W root, then it's CSS, and then it's styles. And then what else do we want on here? Nothing else for now, but in future episode I'll show you about some cool thumbnails that we can use. So we'll submit that and then we'll save. So let's go into the back office of Umbraco, and then straight away we've already got a preview that looks really good for the title. So that's the first one. That's the title one in place. Next, we're going to move on and we're going to do the image. So again, we're going to just copy and paste some code in here, but I'll talk you through it so you get the principle behind what we're doing. So I'm just Control C, Control V. I'm going to rename this and call it image. And then I'm going to copy the style rule in. So let's just copy that style block. So it's got a fair few style rules in here. We don't need to worry too much about those. Just so you know as well, when we create a new data type and you get the option to install a sample configuration, a lot of the code that I've got here with these inline styles comes from the sample configuration. There's some sample blocks that it gives you, like for a rich text, for an image and things. So that's what I'm basically using. I'm just going to copy in the image HTML as well. So we've got a button. It's a type of button, the ng click event to edit, ng focus. Then we've got this about whether it's trashed or not. Then this is a clever little bit of code. So basically it uses a media item resolver. By just passing in the key, it then runs this angular filter to return back the media item. And from that media item, we can then check the link to see actually what type is it. Is it any of these image types? If it is any of these image types, then we want to set the ng source, so the angular source, to be the link. And then we've also got the caption being rendered below it as well. So we can save that and we can go into the back office, into settings, main content, image with caption, areas, custom view. We're going to pick image, we're going to pick the style sheet, and then I think that's it for now. Submit that and save. So if we go back into here, and there we have our image and the caption, and as you hover over it, you get to see the caption over the image. So it's all starting to come to life in the back office with a couple of simple files that we've just created. We've got an image link as well, so let's do that one next. So again, let's just copy the image one, and replace, and then we'll rename that to be image link. For some reason I like to keep it all lowercase on these. I don't know why. I don't know where I got that from, but I'm going to do it. Just keep it all lowercase characters. And I'm going to copy in again. So I've got a basic style rule that I'm going to copy in. Just double click, make sure you're in that file. So replace the style rule first. So we're looking at a button with an image in it and a link. Okay, and then I'll copy the button HTML. So similar thing, it's a type of button, etc., block edit, and all of that. So yeah, it's using the media item resolver to get the media item using the key, and then it renders that, and then it will also show where this is going to link off to. So that's quite handy to know when you've got your image link, when you're editing in the back office. Actually, it's just going to show you the URL of that one. So we'll save that, we'll go into the back office, we'll go to settings, main content again, and then we're looking for an individual image link. We'll go to advanced, add the custom view, so that is going to be image link, and then choose the CSS file here, and then submit and save. So now if we go into content, and where we had image links, they're now being rendered like this. So that's really helpful. It's nice to see this in the back office. It's all coming to life. And we can really get a feel for what the page is going to look like on the front end. And then the final one of these custom ones is the icon link as well. So that will be in the call to action row. We've got the rich text, and the icon link. So we're going to make the icon link work next. So again, same process, go into our code, copy one of these, rename it icon link. First of all, copy the style block. You could copy the whole lot if you wanted, but for some reason I'm enjoying copying the style block first. It feels less just copy and paste if you do it in two parts. Don't know if that's a thing or not, but anyway, we've got an outer button, we've got a button, we've got an image. And then I'm going to copy the HTML, save that. We've got the edit, the focus, they've got the media item, and we're rendering the image, and we also put in the name of the link as well. So that's now available in the back office to be picked. So again, we go into here, and it's the icon link we want to do. Advanced, the custom view is the icon link in there. The style sheet is in the CSS folder styles.css. Submit that and save, and then let's go into the content, and you see we've got that there as well. So it's all starting to take shape, and then the remaining ones that we've got left within this are all using the block grid preview package. So the block grid preview is really good because what it does is it renders the preview based on what the output is going to look like on the front end, but it brings it in to let you see it on the back end as well. So it's very clever. It's some derivative work from, I think, what Dave Wusterberg did and what Matt Wise did, and then it got taken on by Rick Butterfield, and also I think other members of the community have all chipped in to make it into a package and to make your editing experience great in the back office for Umbraco. So high five, you rock to those guys who've done that. So how do we use it then? So what we need to do is we need to install the package. There's lots of different ways of how you can install a package in Umbraco. We've looked at it from Package Manager console. This time I'm going to do it from here. So tools, NuGet manage packages for this solution. And then we're going to look for block preview. So it's Umbraco community.block preview or our Umbraco preview. So that one looks like it's an old version. So it's 1.8.4. I know for definite that's the version we need to use. So I'm going to tick that here, and then I'm going to choose the version which is latest stable 1.8.4, and then install. We're going to say apply when it tries to add it. And then we'll go to the output. It's finished doing that. So we'll do a clean, a rebuild solution. Now, it was in previous versions. Let's just have a look at the package page. Here we go. We'll just go on the marketplace and show you how to find it. So it's block preview. Here it is. So for the Umbraco 10.4 and above, install the package. You can use the CLI or what have you. So you install it that way. So for setup, if it's over version 1.7, then you don't need to do this anymore, basically. But on the older versions, you did need to do that. So that's cool. So now that we've got that installed, really, we should just be able to go in and just tell it which ones we want it to use it. So there's one that comes to mind straight away, and that is the rich text one. So I'm going to go in and use it for that one. So we go into settings, we go to data types, and we go to custom, main content, rich text, and then in advance. So similar way that we were using our custom files that we wrote, well, in this we just get to pick that one, and then we get to choose the CSS again. That's it. And then we can just submit that and save. Go into home. Now, there's content that was already there. So if we do a save and publish, I think I heard about this, that there was an issue with this. If you've already had content, it doesn't like to show it. But yeah, there it's working now. So I just needed to wake it up and give it a bit of an edit. But now that preview's there, and also so is that one up there. So that's pretty cool, isn't it? Straight away, it's showing the content for us. So that's the one for the rich text. And then we've got some others to do as well. Let's just have a look. So we've got a call to action. Does that have a preview? No. The image links doesn't have a preview. We've got a title we've already done, an image link we've already done, a rich text, an icon link, and an image with caption. Oh, we've got this standard header as well. So let's go into data types, custom, and then header content, and then we'll go to standard header, and then advanced, and we'll do custom view, pick the block preview, pick the style sheet from the CSS folder in the W root, and then click on submit and save. So now in the pages where we've got the header, it's also got a preview for the header as well. So it's all nice. Got the preview everywhere. It's just a nice editing experience. I really like it. I think that's it for the pages ones, and then we've also got the site settings. We had the navigation, which we've already got a preview for, but then we've also got the footer as well. So let's have a look at the footer. If we go into the data type for the footer, we scroll down to footer content, and then we just have a look to see if either of these are using that preview, and they are. So we can go into that, and we can click on advanced, and we can choose the block preview file, and then we can choose the CSS file in the CSS folder of a W root, submit that, and then the social links as well. I think I'll just double check, but I think, yeah, they are using that. So add custom view, block preview, add style sheet, W root CSS folder styles file, save that. So let's go into here, click on the footer, and now we also have the preview for the footer. And I just think that's great. I think it just makes it so much better. It just brings Umbraco on another level. You've got nice previews in the back office. So it doesn't always work doing the previews how it is on this. So this hasn't always got it, isn't always the right choice. There are times where it wouldn't work, and there are times where it does make sense to do it. And so that's why we are doing it selectively. So I've already, when preparing this, I've already worked out which ones are the right ones to do it on and which ones aren't. There's an extension method that you can use that is fairly useful. So if we remember, what we're doing actually is we're rendering these out basically in the back office. But sometimes when we do render these in the back office, there's a time when actually we don't always want to render it that way. So especially with the image with caption, let's have a look at this. So I've got a slight difference on the image with caption. So we're checking to see if it's a block preview request or not. Oh, and this comes in when you are using what we're doing in the next episode, which is Slimzy for the images. So I won't need to worry about that now. And I think that's it, actually. We don't need to worry about that. But just so you know, in future episodes, I'm going to show you where you can actually check to see when you're rendering out the razor view, if it can check to know if it's a back office view or a front end view. So yeah, that's taken care of already. I think we've covered it all in quite a short episode by my reputation anyway. So we've got all of this back office preview working lovely. So all of these pages, everything should have a preview. Um, and that's really good. That's a great point to come to an end on this episode. So if you like the video, please click on like, subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends and colleagues. And don't forget there is a guest book as well. So it'd be great to hear from you. Let me know what episode you're on, how you're getting on. Maybe ask for some help either in the YouTube comments or in here when this is obviously public. So as of this episode, we will have done 10 episodes. Each one, when I've done code, I'll be tagging the episode so that when you start the next episode, you know that you've got all the code up to the end of 6.3 and so on. And yeah, sometimes some people say, oh, can I buy a coffee or whatever? So it's codeshare.co.uk/coffee, but honestly, just watch the videos for free. No one's obliged to have to get me a coffee. And I will see you on the next video where we look at how to use Slimzy for making the images serving responsive images and things like that. So yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.